Hello. Hi, everyone. How's everyone doing? The obligatory question is, as always, can you hear me? And can you see me? All of that. Alvin has come by to say hello. He's here right from the start. We do not have a topic tonight, so we're just gonna kind of get into it and see where we go. That means we probably will not have many guardrails as a result. That's usually how it goes when we just are doing our own thing. So it is 2026. This is the first stream of 2026. And I thought it would just be kind of fun to check in and just discuss some comics and I guess take a look at some of those boss battle, DCKO boss battle things that they dropped. Some of those images are pretty fun. And so, how is everybody? How has 2026 been treating you in the comic realm? What are you reading? What are you looking forward to? All of that. I've been using shorts a bit more to explore some of the little details. They it's not leak because it's very drip fed about some of the absolute things coming with the covers, like such as Ivy. Oh, we're not talking about Catwoman yet. I know. Yes, hello. Because there's been lots of fun kind of speculation, fan theories, and it's been fun to just kind of skirt the edges of all of that stuff by looking at, you know, things to come. I'm a bit distracted because Alvin's running around and I'm always a tad afraid that he's going to knock the microphone out like he did that one time. It happened once and I've never recovered. So they want to see you, Alvin. Do you want to come up? Say hello. X-Men Superfan Emma Frost, thank you very much for the gift of a membership. So we do have votes that we do for currently a monthly video of just because there are always so many ideas, so many things that I want to talk about. I often feel quite overwhelmed with the plethora of comics to discuss more now than ever because there's just so much out there and coming, like so much, like the absolute line has been keeping on. I've been enjoying a lot of the main line at DC. I've been reading a ton of indie books, so many things. And over what was for me the holiday break with my kids being off, I was trying to racking my brain of how can 2026 be different in terms of getting being in a position to cover more current things as they happen, because I just happen to be doing this as a one person type of deal, well, except for recently with my husband helping out with some of the voice work. And so I've been toying with, and I thought this would be a good place to ask, although since you're here in a live stream, it's going to be a slightly biased sample, but about doing kind of quick, just casual discussions live in a kind of maybe like hour-long format where we pick a comic to look at. It can be one that just came out, it can be an older one, that kind of thing, and we just go through it and kind of explore it in that way. And I thought it would be a fun way and a quick way to kind of just go over some stuff. I tried out doing a short for the Batman Arc M special that recently came out, and it was fun, and it also wasn't one that I was thinking of doing in a long form format, but it still didn't give the entire breadth of space to discuss quite everything. And so that's when I got to thinking about, well, perhaps in the live format might be a good space to do something like that, because that was a good way to kind of get a general, especially non-spoilery overview to discuss about the Arc M special, which I did find interesting. But the live would have been a great choice to maybe discuss some of just the happenings, such as the rather obvious paralleling that they did by adding some Bruce Wayne accents to Amadeus Arkham's backstory to try and reinforce the idea that trying to work through trauma in a positive way tends not to really work in this universe. And then they also used it to kind of red herring what they ended up doing with the Joker in that issue. Just, spaces to discuss things like that, or how it had one of my least favorite tropes of all time in it. But it was not that, it wasn't something that took away from the work itself. It's just purely a me thing. I have a thing with whenever a work is like, and then that person was actually Jack the Ripper. But that's entirely a me thing. Every time it happens, no matter where it does it, I'm always like, ugh. But again, that's just Babylon 5 did it too. And that reveal lives rent-free in my mind. They all do it. It's going into a collection of, and then they were Jack the Ripper. But I really enjoyed the Arkham special. I have enjoyed the specials they've been putting out in the Absolute universe so far. In the annuals, I'm looking forward to the Wonder Woman annual as well. It's just seeing the world kind of build itself out in that way from such a ground floor position has been enjoyable very much. Mozart was an alien spy. I thought for a second I flashed to Daft Punk Interstellar 555, and it was like, all of these musicians were actually aliens. So I love that. I love that little music video interlude though. But now you're all just giving you're adding to the list for me on the side. I appreciate that. Could be a list, but that would be an entirely different channel, like times when fiction decided about Jack the Ripper. Hi, are you gonna settle or what? But it would also be a fun way to just, because see, I'm all over the place without the solicits to guide me with a clear focus. But for example, Night Fight has gone in a bit of a different direction than they advertised, which I don't mind at all, because their direction was very much let them fight. Batman is going to just fight with his sons, which he has done many a time before. So the fact that it's exploring it more from how Batman views his sons from his own headspace and the types of Batman they would be and the types of men he wants them to be able to be and the like is fun for me. Also, they're getting very emotional with it and also pulling on some plot threads that I think are kind of clever and fun, like what they did with the Jason chapter, which avoided the more obvious direction and veered into a Clayface direction, which I really enjoyed, because when Jason first comes back in Hush and then is revealed to be Clayface, there's that fun element where actually he was supposed to be Jason and then they pivoted to Clayface. So kind of incorporating that level of the history in there was fun. Also, that was the Clayface that we have not that we didn't finish the playlist on. That was Johnny Williams. So it really reignited the passion for the playlist. I think I would feel so personally satisfied to finish the playlist. I think that would be a good thing to do for all of us, even though at this point it has been literally years, but still. Better late than never. No, not Hush 2, just regular Hush 1. When I was gathering some images for the Batman video, I had to go back to the prior run, and then that was just the reminder of how delayed Hush 2 has been. And I was like, oh yeah, that created an interesting kind of energy, because the other run is just going, full steam ahead, basically, at this point. It's too bright. It's too bright when I pull that. I never am in dark mode. That's the thing. It's always light mode for me. Well, I see some of you are saying that you're unironically excited for the Clayface movie. I was more excited for it under the previous writer. We will see where it ends up going, but I too like the concept of a Clayface movie. I was excited when I saw the Absolute Clayface, that they're gonna like Basil Karlo. I'm like, ooh, Basil Karlo mentioned, because at the end of Arkham they show you some of the files again to guarantee who you're gonna get to see at some point, which was another fun thing. I'm glad Fred is saying that they rewatched the playlist. That always makes me happy to hear about that kind of thing because I got on TikTok recently, which has been interesting, and it's been interesting to kind of play in a different algorithmic space and just see the different trends and that kind of stuff. But I did get a lot of comments that were basically YouTube doesn't send me your notifications. I thought you stopped posting. That's always kind of disheartening to hear. So it is nice to hear that some of the videos are remembered. Ben Chan, thank you very much. Is saying maybe you could also do wrap-up discussions when a miniseries or significant storyline ends. I've been contemplating that because I do, like I was mentioning, I do want to jump back into Night Fight, but we only got one more issue to go, and that's Batman versus Happiness, where we saw at the end of spoilers for Night Fight number 3, we saw at the end when he's finally gotten to Damian that the Heart of Apocalypse is switching tactics because Bruce is fighting with it to not have to fight the versions of his sons and to not play that game. And so now he's introduced Damian, who is grown and happy and has a son who is named Alfred, and now Bruce has to destroy that. So we shall see where that ends up going, but it would be kind of fun to just wrap around at the end of that. Also, Everything Dead and Dying is one that I'm still reading. There's so many things that I am keeping up with, but not having the opportunity to discuss. And I want to because I feel like now more than ever, there is such an appetite to just discuss what's going on. There's a really good energy in the fandom overall. And I see it when I go to places, say like League of Comic Geeks, and you just see people discussing, and I'm like, it's there. Like people just want to chat, but there are just so many things. And I have such trauma from the time at the content farm. I'm like, I never want to just pump content out like that, I see a question here saying, ugh, why do people like Damian Wayne? People who like Damian really like Damian. It's one of those things. I've been dropping more just unqualified statements because I feel like at this point it should be clear that there's an understanding that people like different things, and I will always highlight that because I value the space for people to like and dislike different things. But it has gotten to a point where I've noticed just in general online there can be almost a fear to say something like what I said in the Batman date video where it's like Batcat is not my favorite ship because of the whole like, oh, you like pancakes, so you hate waffles kind of mentality that can happen on the internet. I think it's good to push back on that kind of reactionary kind of, discourse. See, all of you are just like, Damian. How do you feel about Damian? What's the vibes on Damian in the chat? Damian's grown on me. I did not enjoy Damian when he first debuted, but I don't know if he's grown on me or I'm just used to him. Those are two very different sentiments. Dragon Mermaid is like, you hate waffles, so you love pancakes. It's just that kind of internet energy, or like the bean soup incident, the infamous bean soup incident from TikTok. For those who aren't familiar, it's older now in internet terms. His hair is getting in my nose. That's why I keep touching it. It's where a woman made a video that was explicitly like, this is a bean soup that I make to help me on my period, has lots of iron, all of that stuff. And then people came in with, what if I don't like beans in the comments? So it's become kind of an infamous incident. It's even discussed sometimes outside in like academic circles because it's just such a kind of moment. I'm very steeped in online culture, perhaps too steeped. Oh, that was one of the things I wanted to discuss and ask all of you in the chat and around, which is DCKO and the battles, the ones I have beside me. Right here, I have a couple of them. How are you feeling about how KO is rolling out? Is it rolling out how you anticipated? Are you enjoying it? Did you think there would be more fights, do you wish it was longer? Like, I want to know, I want to hear the vibes. Like, where are you at with it? Is it what you expected? Please tell me. I have so many thoughts and feelings. I'm enjoying it, But I can also see the other side when people were saying, for example, in issue 2, where it was the kind of free for all issue where they all had to run and grab weapons, and whoever got a weapon got to stay in the tournament. I wrote a video for that specifically about, there was one line that Lex said that I didn't feel jived with this character, but I didn't have time to end up actually making it. But some people I saw were disappointed that it was like that and you didn't get the kind of one-on-one brackets that I think they were expecting. So where are you at with all of that? Kyle the fan, thank you very much, is saying Dick and Damien are the two Robins that I grew up with, so I have a soft spot for him, and Super Sons very much made me like him more. I can see that. There's a good energy in Super Sons. I'm curious how people are going to take the temporary de-aging of John Kent, because this is very much a year, speaking of it getting wild, where there are lots of things that are coming up that seem like people have been asking for them for a while. So I'm curious if people show up for those moments, like the young John Kent for a little bit, and some of the really out there, just bigger moments that they're aiming for with some of the things. Like you even see it with the personality they're kind of giving, like to Bruce, with like casual, return to his slight playboyness, even though that's not entirely what's going on. He's still partially investigating. That issue was fun. I have to sneeze now because he got all his hair in my nose. No, sneezing for free on the internet. Is it temporary is the question. We'll see. I would be surprised if it wasn't. They've done so much development with him being older, and they even have the special where he's going to be mentoring a bunch of the younger sidekick characters and the like. We'll see. Either way, no, I'm holding it back. I see the bless you and I appreciate it. I'm going to hold it back. We're not going to let it happen. We're going to fight it. You. Well, there's going to be a lot of status quo changes coming at the end of KO. That's the mechanism they're going to be using to get people to different positions, to soft relaunch them at various points where they need them to be. That's how you're going to get certain people with different powers in different cities in that kind of positioning, especially for the next level books, so that everybody can be where they need to be, basically. So we'll see where everybody ends up. No, I am not reading assorted crisis events at the moment. It's one of the things I need to catch up on. And I saw today, even I don't know why this made me think of it, but that Romvi and Evan Kagel are starting a new series together. And I was like, ooh, I'm going to have to check that out. I've been keeping abreast of the news, even if I haven't been discussing it. The holidays are a great time. They're really fun to spend with family, but if you have any kind of job where you have to keep working, which is most people, the balance of work and life just becomes very out of whack a lot of the time. Yes, Lizard Woman from Earth. It is canon as of right now. KO is what's going on at the moment. It's just because of how comics are. You then also have the things that are still concurrently running. What they've done with KO is, in the past, there's always been a lot of complaints about events stopping everything and derailing current runs and just stopping momentum entirely. So what they've done this time is they've tried to impact as few books as possible. And what's funny is that I'm seeing the opposite complaint. I'm like, you can't win. It's impossible to win. I've been enjoying the strategy that they've been using, which is that they've kept it to pretty much a minimum, the books that need to be impacted the most. And then you can still have your not dates with Batman and Annika Zeller. And so people in the comments finally made me realize in my mind why I kept saying Keller the first time, and why I wrote it several times in the script this time too. And I had to catch myself. It's because of Zellers. In Canada, Zellers was a big box type store, discount type, like not discount, but cheaper price, clothes, appliance, everything. And that's what I associate with. I'm like, oh, that's why, because I don't view it as a name. I don't view it as a person's name. I view it as a store that I shopped at when I was a kid. It all makes sense now. I was wondering why I was struggling so much. I was like, why can't I say this person's name? And now I know. Do I miss the Zellers dinners? I do a little, the Zeller's food is pretty good. I'm not like, I was at Zeller's a lot. We were not well to do when I was young. So I was at Zeller's and all the discount places a lot. I didn't know about certain brands till I was a lot older. I thought everything was no name. Who remembers the no name brand? I was like, there are other brands of like craft. What's craft dinner? We have no name macaroni. Yeah, I know. See, other people stand by. Byway. Yes, Byway. Oh, memories. Good times. Fun memories, at least for me. Fondness for the discounts at all of those places. But that's why I kept saying it. There are outtakes. You don't get to see some. I left some of the outtakes in for the lines I did with my husband because those were fun. Sometimes the outtakes are just frustrating when it comes to it. Not sellers, Zellers. I hear tales of Ollie's. That's the one I hear about online. I think that's the big, like, American one. When are we getting casually Zellers? I think I still saw one a few years back. There's always one or two stores that manage to cling on. I think I said Klingons. I think I saw one. So, oh, thank you. I appreciate all the nice comments that you left for my husband. I know the first time he was less well received because it was a surprise. I jump scared you with it. I didn't tell you. You got to tell people about the change. I don't know why so many people are fond of the Christian Bale impression that I do. I appreciate it. But at this point, that impression is going on over a decade. It's like, woo, I think it may be time to retire it. Joseph, thank you very much. Is saying, really think it's telling that the most common reaction to young John in the new event I've seen is insert "You're as beautiful as the day I lost you." Yeah, people have strong feelings still do about the aging up. For me, it was less the aging up and the missed opportunity to tell certain stories around it, that if you told, like, some of them they tried to tell a few years later, but it doesn't hit the same when you don't do it in the exact moment. That's how I feel about lots of the missed opportunities for stories with Alan Scott. They're trying with this year one JSA thing, and it's definitely better than some of the stuff that's come before, but it's still like when you don't hit it right at the opportune time, there's always that kind of, that, I don't know what to call it. There's just that feeling where it's like, it's not the same, Oh, see, people are saying too late for me. Oh, that's interesting. So PM Gerard is saying, I really don't like John's birth being set after Infinite Crisis. So since the new history of the DC universe, which does set up a kind of new status quo, even though they haven't made a big deal about it, but there are certain timeline events that have now been canonized as this is the way it happened and this is the way it didn't happen. That's how you can have Supergirl remembering her death and those kinds of things that you're seeing like over in the Supergirl book. So it's been, what I found the most fascinating, and I did see some complaints about this, is that the digital version of issue 4 doesn't have the index in it online. And I'm like, but why? That's the best part, in my opinion. That's where some of the information is hidden. It happened. Thanks, Alvin. This is your fault. He's all sheddy because it's the season. Oh, the thing with that one was I didn't feel it had the strongest framing device. I have to sneeze again. It's going to happen again. Thank you very much for the bless yous. I appreciate it. But sometimes when they have those kinds of events, they have a very compelling frame. That one didn't. The entire time, it never fully sold me on why it was Barry telling it. I was like, I feel like this could be better told if it was somebody other than Barry, or if Barry had acknowledged more about the parts that he wasn't there for, or like how he was getting some of the information and the like. How many of you read it or kept up with it or that kind of thing? I now have more single issues than I've had in a long time. So that's been an interesting experience in finding space to store them. The Phantom Stranger would have been a solid choice. It's got what it did though, what I enjoyed about it was it got me into the mood, which isn't hard to get me into, to check out older heroes again, like to go back and look at some of the Dr. Occult things. And there was very nearly a Dr. Occult video because that would have been just fun to discuss his creation and some of the Platinum Age, which isn't an era that I delve too much into, but the Platinum era is very interesting as well. Balls Monkey, thank you very much. Is saying just tune in. Is that a half Spidey, half Wolverine sweater you're wearing? It would be cool if it was that themed. No, this is a sweater I found at the thrift store, which is where I get most of the clothes you guys say are cool. Is I get them at the thrift store, and I saw it and it was just so colorful that I couldn't leave it alone. Hi, and so it's also a kind of quasi-useless one because it's a crop sweater. So you can't see that on camera ever because of the angle that I film my long form videos at, but it's only a half sweater. But it's fun and it's colorful and it makes me think of those old varsity things with the big W on it. Some people were trying to guess like the significance of the W and it's just like, no, it's just, it had it on it and I thought it was pretty. So yeah, I call it the Platinum Age. That's what I've always seen it called. Sometimes I say a term and then some people will be like, I've never heard it called that before. Like when I mentioned the mod Wonder Woman era, some people are like, I've never heard it called that before. I'm like, it's fascinating the different terms that people come to the eras in. Yeah, I have all the Black Sad comics now. I finally collected the last one that I was missing the other day. No, it's not Theo. It is Alvin. Alvin has a collar. Theo does not. Alvin likes his collar. So, oh, the Platinum Age, pre-Golden. So still the era of, you know, the newspaper ones that are going to transfer over, some of them into becoming what we see. So when you see some of the transition to like new fun comics, which becomes more fun comics and all of that kind of stuff. Yeah, I know he's quiet when he's up there. He's perched, which is, you know, he was in the thumbnail, but I think he got cut off by the rectangle that I've been adding on the edges, but he was there watching, waiting. As soon as he saw me setting up, he knew that it was time. Is there a Simon? Yes, like Slam Bradley, Dr. Occult, some of, yeah, the early ones. So I have my thing open over there. I have covers that we can look at the boss battle, you know, kind of things. That's the big KO crossover where they pulled all the people from other companies and properties in. And some of it's been, you know, the art's pretty fun to look at, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on it and the like. So let's see if we can pull it up. Steven, thank you very much. Thoughts on making Catwoman Black Woman in comics, like Love Hurts and other media doing so brings me joy. It's a classic with Catwoman, taking it back to Eartha Kitt and the like. I don't have strong feelings about it. That's one of the things I've been talking about more lately is I feel like I'm not right for the internet because I don't have strong, passionate feelings about a lot of things. Like I just have thoughts that I then like to talk and work through in terms of when it comes to swapping things for characters. It all depends on what they do with it. Do they incorporate it into the story? Does it end up making a difference? I take a lot of those things on a case by case kind of basis rather than a knee jerk kind of reaction. I don't know. Sometimes I feel like I'm interneting wrong. So MP, thank you very much for saying, as follow-ups to the new history of the DC universe, I'd like to see franchise-specific timelines for Batman, for Superman, Batman/Gotham, etc. New Who's Who's and Secret Origin series would also be nice. I love the Secret Origin series from the 80s. I think it's really fun. I need to sneeze again. No. And, you know, it's good because, like, it's been a while for a lot of the people. I would love it specifically for some of the golden age people that they're starting to bring back again, just because it's been so long. They brought Dr. Occult back recently in the Justice League issues, and there's like, here's Dr. Occult, and he has all these powers. I'm like, I don't know if a lot of people even remember, even though I know they used him in the New 52 and stuff, but just to kind of update some of those things. But I think it would be fun. And I think people would be interested because I've seen a lot of people getting in now. And perhaps I'm in the headspace for it as well, because I was looking at Night Gallery. I did a short on some of the costumes, the Robin ones, the unused ones. And for the Batman ones, they actually then did a series, an actual proper comic where Raish ends up using a bunch of those costumes. So, but the Night Gallery also had a section where it was the history of Gotham and different versions of it and the like. So I think it'd be fun to go through a bunch of that stuff. So let me pull it up before I forget, because that's how I go. Okay, let's look at it because it's so bright. So let's look at it now while I can still see. Stephen Turner, thank you very much. Saying, for me, it's just nice to see the doors Eartha Kitt opened in 1960s be opened in other media. I really liked the look that they did, the Babs Tarr art from the recent one, the one that has the advertising that admittedly we joke about, but I think it'll be fun for people who are into it, for the love hurts and the wedding and the true crime girlies and all of that. I think for the target audience, that one is gonna be fun. So here we are. Let's look at it. It's been out for a while that Superman's gonna fight Homelander, but there are some quotes in all of this that I think are fun. Jeremy Adams will be writing this. I believe it's a one-shot, unless they surprise me and they're like, surprise, we're doing more. So yeah, we have all of the creators right here, and then we have and we have some of the matchups. So the matchups teased in the preview pages include Sub-Zero from Mortal Kombat versus Plastic Man and Black Lightning, Batwoman versus Vampirella, Star Sapphire versus Sabrina the Teenage Witch, Samantha Strong, and then they have to tell you where from, because a lot of, either you know or you don't when it comes to Samantha Strong, from IDW's hit Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees versus Lex Luthor, Wonder Woman versus Red Sonja, and as mentioned, Superman versus Homelander. Not pictured, Joker versus Annabelle. So that's the one that people were asking about. So we have some quotes. We'll read them after we look at the covers and the interior art. They shared interior art without the lettering and the like on it, so we can take a look at some of that. Don Weasel, thank you very much, saying it's so nice of Soups to humor Homelander like that. That was half the comments when I posted these in the community tab. And they were like, Homelander better not even have a chance. I'm not sure if I think that sentiment's coming more from the show than the comics, because I got some people who were like, I forgot that The Boys was a comic at first. So I like the look of this. Then we have this one. Of course, everybody for this brought back, for people who were in the know, the Nocturna flashbacks of that relationship. Bye, Alvin. We're going to shut him out so he can't make me sneeze anymore. Enjoy the flashbacks, or don't, because that storyline was questionable. There we go. So we have this one. It's, I'm always excited to see Vampirella. And Dynamite's usually pretty chill about, letting Vampirella do other things. Then we have Sabrina and Star Sapphire. My instinct was to be like, but Sabrina and Zatanna, but we shall see. MP, thank you very much. Is saying Superman beating up Homelander feels like bringing things full circle. Superman proper is back in the zeitgeist, and evil Superman feels kind of passe now. Yeah, on a meta level, I can see why that would land for people. The hopeful Superman is very much in vogue, and I keep getting a lot of comments of people discussing how they're enjoying how so many of the comics are leaning into either being more fun or tropey or trying to have a kind of hopeful energy. So I can see that. This was the one where people are like, Lex, what are you? Lex is never going to live this down. Lex wasn't ready. He wasn't ready to have, for some, the one that I've seen people say they think this makes the most sense or the most obscure, but here it is. I'm kind of glad that Samantha's here. That was such a phenomenon of a comic when it came out, and the sequel is coming out at the moment. So it's just fun to see Samantha included. I know they did capture like abject terror for Lex. Some of you are commenting on the Lex face. So that's Samantha Strong from Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees. She is a serial killer bear, and she ends up having to solve murders in her own town when a serial killer comes and disrupts the way of life there, and then she needs to figure out who it is. That's the cliff notes. And then there's also some symbolism that I really enjoyed for her and her own nature versus the nature of other people, and that went into that a little bit. It also is have a lot of Dexter inspiration and vibes. People get really mad when you say that. That doesn't have to be a bad thing, but it is there. And this one, Red Sonja versus Wonder Woman. I really do enjoy the way Red Sonja is drawn here. She looks good. What can I say? Yeah, Marilyn is saying Lex's face says, I don't like this Care Bear. But yeah, is that all the ones we have? And then we have, how could I forget the one they're leading with? Perhaps because it's the most obvious. Superman versus Homelander. And I also heard that there's going to be some Lex tag teaming for this, that Homelander is just going to get, destroyed by more than one person. Common sense. Thank you very much. Scott Snyder didn't invite Radiant Black or anyone from the Massiveverse because he knows any of those characters would win against DC heroes. Well, he didn't do the coordinating. So I'm amazed they managed to get as many people together in as quick of a time as they did for this, because this was kind of a last minute add-on. Here's the cover. We got Jamal Campbell cover, and then we have, of course, you have to put all the credits for all the people that they managed to borrow from on here. And look, they already took up the whole bottom. We'd have to get so tiny if we added more people to it. This cover looks great though. We still have the AEW tie-in covers going on, so we have that one. I do like this cover. Well, firstly, because it's Derek Robertson, so you have that callback to the Boys comic, but I just do think that this is a cool cover, even though some people were bothered by this, and they're like, nah, Superman shouldn't even be phased or hurt in any way. People aren't here for Homelander even getting one hit in. It's like, no. This one, we got the Patrick Horvath variant. So yay, he got to do his own cover too, which is fun. Mattman, thank you very much. And for being a member. Batwoman, I can take Vampirella. Batman in a fight, right? Batwoman, sure, let's go with that. I love all the people who are just like, Batwoman's not going to be able to handle the hotness of Vampirella. It's going to be too much. Then we have the Frank Cho variant with the ladies. It's ladies. I was going to say night, but it's not nighttime. It's ladies' day. Fred Campbell, thank you very much for saying just because. Thank you. It's appreciated. It's going to go into all of the things that we have coming in the comics we're going to be discussing, which is hopefully going to be a lot in a good way. And that brings us full circle. And so since we are here, let's read some of the quotes that Adams has from the press release. So talking it up. So let us hear it. Patrick Horvath created an incredibly complicated and frankly scary character with Samantha Strong. I feel lucky to be able to pit the serial killer bear from IDW's Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees against the greatest criminal mind of our time, Lex Luthor, especially because Lex has no idea who it is he stumbled upon. And having written 4 animated Mortal Kombat movies, I jumped at the chance to write more of the Netherrealm world, especially for comics. These characters hold a place dear to my heart, as I've had the chance to interact with a huge swath of their fandom, their creators, and the Mortal Kombat universe as a whole. We have more quote. DCKO boss battle held surprises for me too. I never anticipated that I'd be writing Welcome to Greendale in a DC comic, home of our favorite teenage witch who volunteers to help Star Sapphire in the boss battle. This was a bright spot to put together in the midst of the overarching chaos of the issue. I found myself really enjoying the brief moments with Sabrina and Homelander versus Superman, the biggest a-hole in pop culture right now fighting the big blue Boy Scout. Come on. My only regret is that I didn't have more pages to show these guys punch and kick, and for Superman to tell Homelander to shut his potty mouth for launching him into the sun. Entertain me. Thank you very much to do my part. I'm doing my part. I can't hear the word to do my part without having a Starship Troopers moment. Thank you. It's very appreciated. I saw Starship Troopers way too young and still quote it to this day. But that is the one of the bigger announcements. They've also been doing their previews because, of course, it's Saturday. So we've already got previews for the coming Wednesday of what's coming out this week, which we could also take a look at and see what all of you guys are checking out. I always do enjoy looking at the League of Comic Geeks website. It's just nicely laid out, and that's also where you can see the covers pop up. It's great for that because the Absolute Universe, part of the way it's been hyping up certain things is by doing cover drops. And so if you hang out on those pages, they'll refresh and update and you can see the latest one, and it's just very well organized. It has everybody's name, and it sounds like I'm saying very basic stuff, but you would be amazed at the UI of some sites. So we can take a look at it. Do I have an account there? No, I have too many accounts as is. I can't keep track of them. There are so many places that I just can't post all those places and the like. It would be too overwhelming and too much. So let's pull up what's coming this week. Boom. Share this tab instead. And it's darker, so we'll be able to see. Well, I'll be able to see. You can see just fine. Boop. Yeah. So we're at week 3 for KO, week 3, issue 3. And then we have the Ultimates number 20. Who's keeping up with the end game for all of that? I am admittedly behind in my Marvel reading by a decent amount at this point. I always intend to catch up, but there's just so many things, and I've been more drawn to some of the stuff that's happening with KO and the Absolute Universe and those things. They've just been tugging at me. Superboy going into war already. It's been interesting seeing them revisit Clark as Superboy. And we have our second row down here. Always obligatory Mara cover whenever we can. Oh, that's a fun question that Ethan has here. Who is not in DCKO that you guys would want in DCKO? That's been one of the discussions that I've seen a lot of people feeling that different people should have won or that they wish other people had been entered in the first place. I do feel like, I feel like Jay could have taken it, but a lot of it is with any of these is who are we trying to position for the plot points and the storylines that we want further on. This one, the Harley Quinn and Zatanna one, I'm not the only person who said this. I saw this a lot. Just the attempt at the end to have that big emotional moment with Zatanna and Harley just fell entirely flat for me. But, Jason was robbed. I understand what they were going for with that Jason ending, but I can also see why someone would feel that way. Punchline. So that line in Batman number 5 where Dr. Annika Zeller mentions that she doesn't like mental health being a punchline, in my mind, I did have a moment of, because she's the punchline, I was like, the timelines do not line up for that. But then some other people said that in the comments, and somebody else came in with, because she's punchline's mom. I was like, oh, I'm teasing myself with more punchline. I still enjoy Punchline. I stand by the fact that there is tons of potential there to be utilized. So our next row I was looking at the Supergirl preview, actually. She's continuing on her kind of quasi-holiday specials arc, and I was looking at the Black Cat one because that's the one thing. Like, I'm keeping up with the Black Cat. That one's been fun. Matt says together we can be punchline. You should have said together we can be the punchline. Then we keep it going. We keep the kind of quasi joke alive. Oh. John Constantine. Constantine, we'll say it both ways. I've heard it both ways, actually, like legit. See, there's the sequel, Beneath the Trees, No Bases, Rite of Spring, number 5. We have Null number 1 is coming out. We have it's a heavy Marvel week next week. Oh, that cover for Logan, Black, White, and Blood is nice. That just the little tiny bit of the accent on it, just the tip for his claws. It's actually nice. It's well done. I've been enjoying Supergirl as well. It's fun. And I've been enjoying the way that it's been pulling back through all those references, because then it makes me go and check out things. Like, when was the last time the Supergirl robot was seen? I do believe it's the issue where she gets adopted and she leaves it at the orphanage. I do think that's the one. That's also the first Leslie Lar issue, because Supergirl's allowed to be adopted because she's lost her powers, and so she has no powers. She can't be Superman's secret weapons. There's no reason for him to keep her at the orphanage, so she can go have a family. So then we have the Minor Arcana is something that I'm behind on, but I have been reading, so I gotta catch back up on that. We have a Wonder Woman special. Supernatural's cover is quite arresting. I like that a lot. The Dynamite book that I read this week that I really liked was the Nightmare Before Christmas one. That one was really cute, and the art inside was very reminiscent in a more animated style of the film. So I enjoyed that, because I've been enjoying the Disney villain ones in particular, but the art style inside doesn't always match with the film they come from. And so there's always a time of dissonance when that's the case, but that one matched. So yes, there is a Supernatural comic coming out from Dynamite right now. So if you were all in on the Supernatural, which I was up until a point, I did fall off at some point, but there was a time when I was all up in Supernatural. Die Loaded is something I need to jump into, because I did read and like the first Die for the most part. There are parts I didn't, and again, that feels like such an obvious statement, but it's something I feel like needs to be said online. Card Captor, thank you very much, is asking, what do you wish was explored more with Star Sapphire? Do you mean Star Sapphire? The character for this boss battle thing, or just in general? I don't mind what they're doing with Star Sapphire right now. I mean, keep her away from Hal. But again, that's just a me thing, and that's not the dominant thought process. The Green Lantern issue that just came out, where it was him and Bruce teaming up, was pretty fun. Yeah, see, Coffee, but I don't want to do that anymore. Like, you got to make a lot of prefaces when talking online so you don't get jumped. I feel that because so many content creators, myself included, do that. And like, part of me doing that is, as I mentioned earlier in the stream, is because I do want to highlight that there's so many different points, but there is a part of it that is also like, you don't want to get jumped. But I feel like that because so many of us have done that, it's increased the amount of jumping that has happened for smaller things. It's just, I don't know. I've been online for a long time now, and sometimes you get pensive and reflective about it, I was looking back at the first review I ever posted, which was, I was so young. Oh my goodness. And looking back at it, it was over a decade now. And it was like everything's changed so much. That was on my first ever YouTube channel. It still exists. I'm probably going to put a clip of it in a video that I have scripted. Card Captor, thank you very much for saying both. I'm still writing my fanfic, the Star Sapphire. Oh, nice. How's your fanfic going? Fanfictions can be so fun, and just as like exploring the different avenues of the character. It's been a while since I've written a fanfic, and the last one I wrote was for an obscure visual novel, but it can be a lot of fun. Sometimes it's just nice to write and get those ideas out there, you know? Edward saying, "Were we ever so young?" I know that's how I felt looking at that. And because it was, I don't want to I'll pull a still from it and I will share the still with you because I don't want to pull up the whole, my whole old channel on here. Not that I'm ashamed of anything or I just get distracted when I look at it, but I will pull it up because my eyebrows. Oh my goodness. I had those classic eyebrows from when we all decided that eyebrows were bad. And, oh, there we are. It's also in potato quality. So enjoy the potato 480p imagery as God intended. So all right, save it to my costume folder. I've got a bunch of costume shorts that I want to do and share an image file briefly. Boop, 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 boop. We're teching all the tech tonight. Yeah. Eyebrows, who needs those? Also, do you like my poster wall? I had a poster wall back there. I still like I can't fully see the guys, but I remember who they were on the wall back there. Oh, good times. Good times. That was a long time ago. What year was this? This was 14 years ago. 14 years ago, vintage, when eyebrows were not allowed. So that was a different time. That's 4-3. Yeah, that's right. We were recording back in 4-3. Oh, man. Yeah, that Stephanie Batgirl is great. I always loved that run of Stephanie Batgirl. It was a good time. Cardcaptor, thank you very much for saying, I'm exploring romantic love and my main girl is Ace. Oh, it's always like interesting to get to explore those different dynamics. That's part of the fun of fan fiction. You get to play with either whether it's the characters, the orientations, the setting, all that kind of stuff. Windows 95, Windows 97. I almost just said 6-7. It's in my mind because my kids say it all the time. Whenever we see anything, 6-7. That's something else, Evan, that I want to get back into. And I bought a tray to get back into just covering kind of runs. I got the first trade for the Ryan Choi Adam series, because that's a run that I remembered really liking. And I thought it would be fun to go back and take a look at it. I didn't even see if I still do like it or not. It's been a while. So no, okay, listen, it's not a bad meme, okay? It's not bad. So just kind of getting back to the core of everything, because everything's been so exciting and moving so fast. I just kind of want to get into the space of being able to discuss just the pure, comics and everything. And just, I always want to talk about so much. That's the thing. Jader, thank you very much. When is the Casually Comics Dispatch playthrough? But I've already played through Dispatch, so I would be doing one of those playthroughs where I'd be just picking the choices I did not pick. I don't love playing those games on stream because when it comes to those types of games, some people get very attached to a specific outcome, or they want to see your reaction to a specific part of the game. And so if you don't pick that outcome, or you don't pick the route that they want, it can sometimes lead to some hostility, which can make for not the most fun playthrough if you're playing through because you want to just kind of experience it and make your own choices and go through it. Because I already know that I'm in the minority of a lot of things, because on my first playthrough, like consistently, it was like 20% of players chose this. I was like, oh, so it's probably a good thing I did not play this on stream. But I did enjoy streaming games from back in the day. My favorite game I think I streamed was Dream Daddy, for sure. That was just a good time. That game knew what it was and it went for it. And it was fun to go into it with that energy and attitude and do all the voices. That was another one where I did voices for everything. I think my favorite was the evil priest voice. Was so fun. Who is my favorite character? Oh, in Dispatch? Uh, okay, I really liked Robert Robertson. I liked Mandy a lot. I liked Flambe. He controls the fire and the flame a lot. Card Captor, thank you very much. Are you going to do a video of the Steph pregnancy? I haven't thought of it. It's not on my list of pregnancy videos when I had a pregnancy video list, because every time I'm pregnant, I'm like, this would be the time for the pregnant video list, and then I never do. So but there is a list of things I want to get to. First on my list that you're going to see next is I have a collab that I'm editing that I'm very excited to get out. I'm a bit late editing it, and the other person's been quite patient, so I appreciate that. And we're going to get that out for next week. And then from there, I have a couple of the history videos that I want to get into, like the one about Lex's name, which is already written. And I even found some letters about it from back in the day. So I'm very excited about that one. There is a there is a LL love interest video that I want to do for Superman. But on top of that, there are so many comics coming out that I want to hit as well. Like the other side of the Absolute Batman and Absolute Wonder Woman team up to kind of compare and contrast, I think will be a lot of fun to see how that goes when Absolute Poison Ivy comes out, depending upon whether it's interesting or not, because that's kind of how I pick the current ones. It's not just the level of interest that people have in it, even though that should be the only thing that matters from like a YouTuber metric kind of perspective, but it's also how interesting I find it, which is why we hopped back into Batman on the date issue and not, for example, on the Riddler issue or anything like that. So that's why I'm really hopeful. We'll see if it happens. Like, knock wood, we'll see what ends up happening. But to incorporate some of those live streams, just kind of like quick, chatty. We save some images, not screenshots of my young self, but just, of images from the comic. We do a discussion. We leave it up so people can then, who missed it, just come and, share their thoughts and just talk comics. Just, be casual and enjoy this time in comics, Card Captor, thank you very much. Lorizod, is he a canon character or was he just Young Justice? Young Justice bringing in like all the proper characters. Like it's not that show didn't create so many like some of the others have. I just see, poor Lorizod. What Absolute runs are worth reading? I'm biased. I think they're all worth reading. It depends what you're into. It depends what characters you're into. It depends what you're looking for. They have different vibes. Some are more penetrable at it did create Calder. Some are more penetrable at different points than others. I'm so used to Calder that he's become one of those ones that I actually forget was created there because he slipped in so seamlessly, at least the Calder version for me. But yeah, like Superman right now, I've seen some people feel that they can get into it a bit more now than they were beforehand. The Wonder Woman one, I think, is very accessible and just a jumping in kind of way. If you like a bit more action-based fare, you have the Batman one. If you're into the Green Lantern one, dove into philosophy for a couple of issues quite heavily, but it's now more back into the more action-based kind of. They just introduced Obsidian. I was going to post a panel of it, and then I was like, am I the only person who cares about Obsidian? Or I don't know. I love Absolute Martian Manhunter a lot. There's some discourse online about whether it's confusing or if it's trying too hard. I don't think so on either front. I appreciate the amount that it's playing with the medium, and I think its messaging is pretty clear in terms of what it's trying to say about boiling points and the way that negative actions can impact the overall atmosphere and just create this kind of miasma or smoke in this case because it's working through the fire weakness in a different kind of way. I like it a lot. I think it's clever. I think it's dealing a lot with different mental spaces, neurodivergence, just a whole bunch of things in a very gentle and kind of in my opinion accessible way because it's framing it in this very comic booky colorful kind of way. So to me, I think that one's really worth checking out. People keep comparing it to Shade the Changing Man. I think it's much more accessible than Shade the Changing Man in my opinion. Yeah, Joseph, I can see finding it too colorful. Like it is a lot of a lot. And sometimes I do have a moment where I'm like, if you were colorblind, what does this book look like? So I can see not being into it too. And that's the thing. It's totally fine. That it's fine not to be into to everything or to be in the space of everybody likes this and I hate it. And that is part of why I do the whole in my videos the section where I go into here are some things that people don't like, or if I'm not liking it, here are some things that people do like about it. Because I remember getting into fandom and the attitude of these are the classics that you must read and these are the ones you must avoid because either they're bad or problematic or whatever was always something that didn't appeal to me and made the fandom space something I didn't want to interact with when it got like that. So when I started making my own content, I was like, I don't want to make people feel the way that I felt in those situations. So I always endeavor not to do that. Do I always succeed? I don't know, probably not. I'd like to hope more often than not, but that's always what the intent is and goal is with that, just to acknowledge that indeed different strokes for different folks. And there are some runs that people adore that I can't stand, or some that people really don't like that I think are great. So yeah, and I think that that's part of what makes it fun. And when you can enter into a conversation like that in that headspace, just be like, hey, like what did you like about this or what didn't you? I think you can learn some really interesting and fun things, you know. I couldn't stand the brightness anymore. It was too much. It was absolutely too bright. And now my stream needs to catch up with everything that was going on. Yeah, I saw that a lot. Shadowbat saying flip it around, Wicked Witch. Mighty Maid returned. There are a couple of times when they use Mighty Maid. So it might be fun to get back into some of the other classic, type versions of that. I always love taking some time out to highlight just individual Silver Age stories as well because they have a unique flair that is not matched in other eras, even when they attempt to emulate it, because it's just so unique and of its time and of the very specific circumstances that spawned it. So yeah, which for to expand on that point of like which absolute books are worth reading, let me toss it back to all of you. Which ones do you feel are worth reading and which ones have lost you? Or are there any that you've dropped off of that you might feel like picking up later? Because this is the other thing about comic fandom and reading is dropping in and out. That's entirely, I think, normal to just you hit a point where maybe a storyline or something isn't appealing to you, and then you can hop back in. Be like, hey, did it pick up? Did it change? Do I still not like this? Where am I at with it? Yes, I've been reading, Dominique. Yes, I've been reading KO. I am up to date on KO and its tie-ins. Just keeping up with all of those things. The Flash, because I really like the Flash. I also I liked the size Spurrier. I if I ever get the chance to talk about why, maybe if I ever do, I'm gonna put that meme joke in where if I say that in it, you'll be the person in the lecture room who's like, you need to leave. So Flash is one that I tend to be a bit behind with, but then I catch up on it. Like they're gonna do some Barry Allen stuff right now. I'm like, Barry Allen. So like because I'm intrigued by relationship they're giving Barry and thought in this. So I'm like, well, I need to be here for Barry Allen. I thought Homomatic. I think the writing of Linda is excellent in Spurrier's run, and the way that a lot of them having that new child and the like is handled, I think is actually amazing. Do we have is there a Discord for like this community or for Absolute? Because I'm sure there are Absolute Discords everywhere. I do not have a Discord. I've said it before in past streams, just I would not have time to run the Discord. So somebody else would have to run the Discord. And there are so many, how many YouTube drama and fun stories have we seen that start with, so there was a Discord. I don't know why I held up a fake mic when I have a real mic. So it's not that late. It's not late enough for that. Yeah, I enjoyed Absolute Evil a lot in setting up the one-shots in the Absolute universe have been doing a good job of establishing the ethos and really hammering home just what a cruel type of place it is. That was the thing I enjoyed the most about Arc M and the way it utilized its Joker, or Grim, because I kind of like calling him Grim because it makes him feel a bit different. It's just the cruelty and the joy in it. And that was just so dark and so absolutely evil, to play on the pun, that it really worked for me. It really set up that that's the part where the kind of Bruce paralleling worked for me with Amadeus Arkham, is the idea that to see someone who is kind of on that classic trajectory of suffered tragic family death, tried to turn the trauma into something good and help other people, and then had someone come in and just absolutely destroy it because they could. Because that's the thing at the end there, when you have the reveal, he didn't need to do that. It was just pure cruelty. And so I thought that really worked to try and sell the overall idea of how difficult it's going to be for Batman in this universe, which is then hammered home at the end when you see all the Batman footage and him saying, well, he's not even that much of a threat, after having this whole history established. And it still managed to keep Arkham creepy while updating it and moving it forward in a way, which I enjoyed. KO, thank you very much for saying not enough in chat on Absolute Superman being peak. It's interesting. I find that people are either really down with Absolute Superman or it's one of the ones that they fell off of pretty early. I'm here for where they're going with Absolute Hawkman. I'm like, come on. I saw the cover. He showed up at the end of the last one. Like, let's keep expanding it. Let's keep it going. I think that's part of why they're starting to roll out so many of the villains for Batman, is because people are interested and you do have that momentum. And when you have it, you gotta ride it. That's part of why I put the Ivy image there, because that's one of the ones I didn't get the chance to show in my shorts, is because that one came out later. That's the Guillaume March one. Is that one really sells the idea that she's just like kind of a meat puppet kind of thing, which would hold true. So I'm intrigued to see where they go with that, and I hope it's interesting. That's always my hope for all of these. I hope that they're good. I would rather they be good than bad. There's an idea that you can't run a channel on things that you like, and I don't agree with that. There are several channels I watch where that's all they do. One of my favorite channels is Quinn's Ideas, who's amazing. You should check him out if you love sci-fi. But that's his whole thing, is just talking about books he likes in a really in-depth kind of way. I think there's a lot to say about a book that you like. It can be really fun to roast something. That's great too, and that can be a lot of fun. But I don't know. I kind of enjoy talking about things that I like more than talking about things that I don't. Where are all of you with that? Sometimes I can't watch Quinn because I'm going to want to read the book he's talking about. I'm like, Quinn's going to give me more books to read. And I already have too many books that I'm reading. That was one of the fun things of the break. I got the chance to do some reading, which, like, I have a list, and I'm like, I'm going to make it through some of them. And I did. I made it through a Vonnegut book that I hadn't read yet. And I'm rereading Hyperion because I made the mistake of watching a Quinn video, like one of the old ones I'd seen before. And I was like, well, now I'm going to reread Hyperion. So Can we get a library tour? No, but because everything happens in this room. There is only one room on the casualverse so far. Who knows though? The universe appears to be expanding. Maybe at some point we'll see other rooms. Shadowbat is saying, I'm low-key a hater. I need to vent about stuff I hate. I like discussing if I end up in a space where I'm really not enjoying something, why it's not working. But then I always get really intellectual with it. I'm kind of like, okay, why is this not working? Is this a me thing? Like, is it like the Jack the Ripper thing where that's just a personal, like, I don't like when people do that, but it wasn't bad for the story. In fact, it accented what they were trying to do with building out that version of the Joker as this just big evil forever thing. Or is this actually poorly written? Is it like poor prose? Is it poor art? Because there is some such thing as objective, things that aren't working in a piece of art. And then you take it from there. And it's like, okay, like how much of this is me? How much of this is it? How much of this is impacted by other experiences? How much of this is impacted by the expectations that I was putting on it? Is that fair? Like that's always how I approach something I don't like. So, so I don't know. It was that's why it can be so long. Like when I was talking about the last Gotham City Sirens that I read, which was the one with Punchline in it, because I had to read it for Punchline, where it was some of the aspects of it really worked for me and then others didn't. And then I was sitting there like, okay, like what isn't working? Is it just because of the past series? Is it because it's not gelling with the current iterations of the characters? This is where I ended up on, or and just exploring all of those things together. That's where I think the interesting thing is, more so than just this is bad and I hate it, even though I do enjoy videos like that sometimes, because sometimes you just want to hear somebody be like, boo, it was bad, and then make a bunch of jokes about it, and that can be a good time. Sometimes you want to roast too. So that's the thing. You need the balance. I think you need all of them. You can pick and choose, and that's kind of the fun of the variety of the YouTube, TikTok, other spaces, that you can kind of go around and get all those things, if you're looking for them. What was my favorite movie of 2025? I have to think back. I didn't watch too many new movies this year. Like past year, still thinking that's 2025. I didn't watch too many new movies this past year. I know what the first movie I'm seeing this year is, which is I got my tickets to Iron Lung supporting Markiplier. So I hope it's good. I know how much effort was put into that. I always like when YouTubers branch out and try and do other things. So Cam Dog saying boo earns. Yeah, are you saying boo or boo earns? What were some of your favorite ones that you watched? Because I wouldn't say my favorite was Superman or Fantastic Four, but then I have to cast back into some of the other things that I saw. I saw some fun horror movies last year, but I don't know if they came out last year. That's the thing, because I'm always watching things from different times too. But I do have a list for this year. It's mostly horror films. I kind of want to see Undertone, even though I saw people making fun of that in the thing. They're like, ooh, they went to a scary like sound website and listened to the sound. I'm like, listen, this is going to be an excellent chance to explore the sound mixing I'm so excited for the sound mix. Sound mixing is such an unsung hero part of filmmaking, and if you do it right, it can be so unsettling. I'm really excited for the sound. So, ooh, weapons. I did like Weapons. I liked Weapons a lot. That's the thing. Whenever I'm asked about, like, what was your favorite? Like, everything flies out of the mind. That's why this year, if I can remember to do it, I'm like, oh, I should start making the list now from January of, comics read and that kind of stuff. So when we get to the end of the year and people are like, what was the thing? I can actually remember. Skill Up does a year in video games where he goes like month by month into stuff. I'm like, that's a good format. Matt, thank you very much. Have there been any comics where just one thing instantly turns you off the run? Yeah, I've had that moment. I'm trying to think if it's happened recently though. In a recent run. Like something that just let me put it to you too. So I can see if it's any of the ones that happened with you. I'm trying to think if there's anything that's just put me off, and then you have to have not gone back, or is it just that it put you off for a little bit and then you came back later on? I can't think of any that's happened for me with recently. Um, I hopped off of Detective Comics for a bit, but not because it wasn't good, but just because I felt like I could tell where it was going. And so I was like, let me come back at the end and see if I was right, rather than keep up this entire time when there are so many other things to read and check out. Power Girl's complete character change did it for I kept reading that. I was I was intrigued. I kept reading that. Spider-Man Sins Past. I can see that being a big one for some people. Ben Chan, thank you very much. Will Hal and Carol getting married turn you off that run? No, because then I can just keep making jokes about their relationship and bring up Silver Age panels, and that will be a whole new level of enjoyment for me. So, no, it would not. I can wait for the inevitable messy divorce arc. Or just joke about it. So no, it wouldn't. Age of Revelation. Are you still reading Hush Chua when it comes out? But that's in such an interesting position now, because the other run started and is just keeping on. So that's more just to see what they were doing with it than anything, because everything has already just carried on from that point. Yeah, no, I usually even if it's like a big moment, tend to keep going with it and see like where it's going, if I overall don't like the vibe anymore, or if it's just like, nah, I'm out. Matt saying Carol for sure would have she better. He like asked her to co-sign his lease that one time. So that's something my husband and I quote all the time. Card Captor is asking, what is DC doing with Carol Ferris? They're trying to move her into a more standard kind of heroic position, establish her as more of a regular character used in the roster. We're playing around with her and Hal actually being endgame, all of those things. For a lot of people, Kofi is saying, for a lot of people, it's probably Tom King's Batman wedding issue. I can see that, because they built that up. You know, when you hype something up and then it doesn't happen, that can be frustrating. So I can see that, especially for the people who really like that couple. They've been married on the Earth too, and like they were hoping to kind of see that. I can definitely see that. Are you live on Twitch or just YouTube? I do not have any Twitch at all. The only times I'm on Twitch is when I'm co-streaming with Amanda, because she's on Twitch, which we need to do again very soon. It's been too long. It's been far, far too long. We saw that there is a new Deadpool Samurai, so we definitely need to get back together and talk about that. Very much looking forward to discussing that with her. No, did they actually? I did not hear. I need to double check. I need pics, or it didn't happen. The Jinchuriki studio saying people got married in the story on release day for that wedding. Oh man. How often am I live on YouTube? When the whim strikes. Hopefully more so in 2026, but currently it's quite random. They did. Oh, that makes me sad. That makes me really sad. Not for them. I hope their marriages are great and they're having a good time. But just that, they were expecting something. Like, that's not cool. Yeah, I heard about the midnight releases. I did hear about the midnight releases and like all of that stuff. Oof. I have 3 drinks again, as always. I never need like half of them. Mind the Gap is saying, I say, don't tie your lives to fictional characters. I support a healthy separation of, yourself and from fictional characters too. I don't think there's any harm in kinda getting, like, excited or hopeful for, like, that kinda thing, but, I mean, a wedding takes a long time to plan and coordinate, so I would hope that it wasn't entirely based around that, and then it was just like, "Ooh, this is happening on the same day," and, like, that'll be fun to kinda, tie into it in that way. Ah, Christina, hi, yeah, it has been a minute. Ooh, we can help Marlena out. Marlin is asking, I love DC. What's one comic you would recommend to a DC fan? Now, firstly, that's incredibly hard because there are so many. Ooh, it's hard for me not to recommend my first one because it got me so into it. I really like Batman Hush. People meme on Batman Hush. I think Batman Hush is a really solid comic. Superman for All Seasons, I would say, is also a really nice Superman comic to kind of get you into the mood. It also depends what character you like because that will determine, where you're into. Like, do you like kind of noir things? I really liked the recent Sandman comic that they did, the Robert Venditti one. I thought was really cool if you're into that kind of classic stuff. Ooh, New Frontier is a nice one too. I would also recommend if you're just dipping your toes in and you're not sure, the new little compacts that they have, the compact size that are collecting complete, little runs of things because they've got a nice price point. You can see what you're interested in. They've got a whole bunch of the different genre. I feel like I'm out here like selling their thing, but no, the compacts are legit really good. Do I have my compact near me? It's never around when I need it. It's always moving around. I have one of the compacts. It's the All-Star compact. I bought it for a size comparison thing so that we could compare the sizes of the different ones. Ooh, a lot. See, you've got lots of recs now. So, because again, it does depend what you're in the mood for. Something lighter, something dark. Because I love Kingdom Come, but Kingdom Come's kind of heavy. Ooh, that's a good one. I like Kofi just saying World's Finest by Mark Waid, the recent one, Batman slash Superman World's Finest, I think would actually be a really good starting point because it's light, but it's still got some depth. The characters are kind of in a classic format that's very familiar to people who have come from the cartoons and those kind of things. I'd say that's a really good starting point because it also then introduces a whole bunch of other characters too, but not in a way that's overwhelming. World's Finest is a lot of fun. Oh, a bunch of you are saying World's Finest. We're like, we've decided. We had a gavel, like, dun. Oh, Birds of Prey. I like Gail Simone's Birds of Prey. They've been omniing. They've got a bunch of omnis. It's been a great time for omnis as well. Ooh, Super Sons is a fun one too. Stephanie Brown Batgirl is a series I am fond of as well, and they've collected it. I like the Zatanna series by Paul Dini too. They've collected that one as well. Favorite Darwin Cook work, Parker. Yeah. Why are things so heavy in the future? Red Six Down is saying, because it's hard not to imagine that. Yeah, so lots of oh, they've selected World's Finest. Yes. World's Finest is fun. And there are a bunch of trades out now. So if you end up liking it, you can go for about 6 trades, I think, at this point. The last one is the Eclipso one, time of recording. I'm trying to remember. I would go grab it, but my children don't have it, but I don't know if they number it anymore. But I have the Eclipso one nearby, so I can grab it. Yeah, I have 2. My compact. I found my compact, everybody. So I have the latest, the World's Finest. Yeah, they aren't numbering them anymore. They're just kind of going by heart, that like by arc. So this is Total Eclipso. Slightly bent because it's been being read and loved. But by this point, we have Adrian Gutierrez doing a lot of the art for it. But I can flip through it a little for you so you can get a little bit of a look. Total Eclipse was volume 7. Thank you, Wolf. So, Shadows Fall Apart 3. And I found the compact. Here it is. It's real. Don't you understand? It's real. So that is a little DS9 for your evening. So this is the size you're looking at. The paper is a bit less glossy. You got a bit more of a matte thing. It's very familiar for if you have come from manga, what you're getting. Only you're getting the color and everything. Some people ask if it's too small or if people find it too small. I don't. It takes a moment of adjustment just because I'm used to the bigger format. But like once you kind of like tweak your brain a bit and you're like, it's small manga, and then it kind of, then it kind of fits with that. But yeah, that's what you're looking at for the compacts. And I think these are great. They're really worth it. If you're on TikTok, you get a lot of satisfying videos of people just like panning over their collection, like, ooh, they're all the same size, which is always appealing to me. It's always very frustrating when you have books like that subreddit, like mildly infuriating or irritating, whatever it is, where you have like all the books are the same size, but what and it's not something that's worth doing anything about, but it's just so frustrating. Well, yeah, Edward is saying they make good gifts. They do make good gifts because you can just give them a one and done. You can just be like, yeah, All-Star Superman or New Frontier. They have a New Frontier one too, and just be like, here you go. We're done. Achievement. Yeah, they have the Gotham City Sirens compact. Like some of them, if I didn't already have them, I'd be like, ooh, a compact. They're easy to wrap, says Edward. They are. I mean, we just did a bunch of wrapping for Christmas, and there were these little Pokeballs, these little Lego Pokeballs that were greatly enjoyed by those who received them, but were atrocious to wrap. So bad. Yeah, they have a whole bunch. They've done an entire compact line. I'm curious, have they announced that they're adding to it in a centralized location as of yet? Any new news? Oh. Well, this is news. It's Gem and the Holograms gets a compact comics line because a couple of the others are now adding to the compact line because it's working. So people are adopting it. Yeah, the latest ones, we've seen the latest ones, but I'll go through them again. The latest compacts are going to be for Deceased, V for Vendetta, Far Sector. We already have Far Sector. Are these just people's favorites? Don't lie to me, DC. Oh, this is favorites. Why did you lie to me? It's fine. But this is the people's favorites, they say. So let's adjust that. It's favorites. Deceased, V for Vendetta, Far Sector, Batwoman Elegy, and Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. There are Gem comics. There are indeed Gem comics. Yes, We3 is a lot of a lot. So it's kind of intense. Yeah, you see? People are catching up in the chat now. They're like, it's out already. That's what it's favorites. That was the list of favorites. And by favorites, I'm sure they mean the ones that sell the most. But yeah, those are really good to check out as well. So what I'm contemplating doing is I do want to do those kind of like, let's just check out an issue type thing streams. I have a couple that I'm trying to decide between. I might put it up for a members vote just because I'd be happy to talk about all of them, but I would like to see where the interest lies and just kind of test it out, try it out, like see how long it goes for, I know it's kind of, is it gauche to only stream for like an hour or less than an hour, but I don't know. I think that kind of thing really works. So I will put up the ones that I'm thinking of doing in there so we can decide. It's probably going to be like a couple of the Night Fight issues and some of the other recent ones that maybe Absolute Superman. Like we shall see what ends up there, but I think it'll be fun. Also, there could be like, some old ones too, as well, because my heart belongs to a bunch of those old ones too. Lobstar, thank you very much. I know you get questions like this a lot, but would you ever make a video about Superman up in the sky? I would love to hear your thoughts and feelings about it. I never know what I'm gonna make videos on. I know I should. I know I should be like, my YouTuber friends who have lists optimized by SEO and all of those kind of things, but it really is. I used to say years ago, I think at this point, that the channel for me and hopefully for you is a journey. We're kind of like going on it, and sometimes like we twist and we pivot and we see where the whims take us. One of the things that I have planned is I got an email after the Night Flame video from some people who had read some of a magazine, a back issues magazine, where there's an interview talking specifically about some of the art in the original issue and the sex that's built into it, and that it's very much intentional, and that they're pushing to depict like an orgasm on panel. And so I'm like, well, we got to talk about that. So, I went and I'm like, could I find it? Could I get it? All of those kind of things. That's a total tangent, a total side tangent. But that's the kind of thing that, my brain goes down these avenues where people tell me things, and I want to go and explore it. So sometimes, I have a full intention of checking something out, and then I just somewhere else. So we will see, where we end up, because that one was interesting though. So Comrade Mime is saying we def gotta talk about that. That's how I feel. Like why I want to talk about it is for the quotes. The sweet quotes. I love reading a quote from back in the day. And some of those magazines, some of the interviews are so candid and they're so amazing. And that's part of why I'm so excited for the magazine that I'm a part of, for the magazine that they're doing, the New Comics magazine. Like, there's so many things, because you get such interesting details in print. So yeah. But it is getting a tad later. I do want to get to some of the editing for the collab, so I can get up nice and early for all of you next week. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out for this first random chit chat stream of 2026. As always, when solicits drop, we'll do that. We will hopefully have our individual issues thing coming soon, if I can get myself organized and together. And I hope that pans out and we can just keep on keeping on and expand the universe of the different types of things that we do here. So thank all of you so much for for being here, whether you just came, whether it's been for years. We're just coming on this comics journey, and I can't wait to see where it takes us. So yes, enjoy the rest of your day, night, whatever it is for you, and we'll be back soon to chat more comics. All right, bye-bye.